Hello everybody, we're here today at the beautiful Intermodellebau Messe in Dortmund, Germany. This is the main entrance to the exhibition. The exhibition is phenomenal. It's the largest hobby show in the world. They have 5 massive buildings, all to do with hobbies and model trains and RC drones. And pretty much if it's a hobby, it's in this building. We're slowly replacing the International Toy Fair in Nuremberg with the show in Dortmund, Germany. And we plan on organizing tours to this show every year. So let's go inside and let me show you everything that this show is all about. The Dortmund Intermodellebau show is the largest hobby show in the world now. And we will most likely no longer go to Nuremberg because since COVID, the show kind of transferred here. And what I love about this show, it's all hobbies, not so much toys. So it's model trains, planes, ships, boats, drones, all that fun stuff. Lego. For instance, we have a massive, look at this awesome Lego Lamborghini made out of Lego blocks. How cool is that? Is that awesome? And the show is smaller than Nuremberg, but it's still about 7 or 8 buildings, so it's huge. I'm gonna walk up to take this elevator to the top here, and we're gonna go check out some RC and some drones. Walking through the show will give you a little bit of an idea how big this show is. You have so many different manufacturers and so many brands. Here's the Bachmann Liliput booth. Liliput has brought out quite a few new interesting models. And slowly but surely we are getting back into getting shipments from Liliput. It was hard to get shipments from them for a while, but they're slowly catching up with manufacturing. There's Christian, he's a German representative. What I love down here, some of their new steam engines. I love that Austrian gray locomotive. It's absolutely beautiful. And that's early Era 1. I believe that's either Era 1 or Era 2 with the green boiler bands. That's also really nice. Liliput, like Tillig, also makes a lot of narrow gauge, HOE. And you could combine the Liliput together with the Tillig to run on the HOE. And yeah, I mean, this is an important brand. Bachmann is very famous. So is Liliput. Liliput also makes a lot of N-scale. Look at here, we have a new Kef in N-scale, which I think in today's technology is very important. I'm sure it has a decoder with sound. So that'll be a great addition to any N-scale collection, the new Kef. Some maintenance equipment, some rail maintenance equipment. It looks like they're doing a bunch of N-scale flat cars, which is really important. New box cars coming out. These I love. The old German rail cars, Era 4, in the blue and beige livery. Those are really, really cool. But the catenary tower maintenance vehicles in N-scale. I'm gonna walk around over here. Check it out. That is beautiful. Fantastic Respond rail car maintenance vehicle. And I bet you the platform on top is all digital. I'm sure this will have sound. Just beautiful. Also the rail cars are also going to be available in the HO scale. The Eisover box cars, very, very cool. But, yeah, this maintenance rail car, I think this will be a nice addition to any collector that has the Wiesmann maintenance vehicle. Very, very cool. There's Exacttrain down there, Artmaster, NME, Parada, MagnaRail has a nice display here. Purpose here with all their vehicles. It's fantastic. Lens, electronic, very important. All the big ones are here. Markland, of course. Fleischmann, Roco's here. Christian. I have to stop off at NME. But, you know, just walking through these halls here, give you a little feel of the show. You know, we're going to offer group trips to the show every April. We had a nice group attended this year, and they loved it. And, you know, next year we're going to do the show again. If you're interested in joining us, it'd be awesome. Love to have you. There's so much to see. Here we have another company, of course, Zemo, digital, Zemo Electronics. Great decoders, great digital systems. It's a great booth, Artitech, Hobby Train. I mean, everybody's here. What's nice about this booth compared to a lot of other booths is simply at Nuremberg, you cannot get all these smaller manufacturers to attend the show because it's just too expensive, you know? So what I love about this show is you have a lot of small manufacturers, you know, showing off a lot of, small, unique items. Whereas in Nuremberg, it's just the big guys. And now, since COVID, even the big guys aren't showing up in Nuremberg anymore. Here we're in front of the BMO booth. For those of you that love BMO, there's all kinds of neat stuff. Swiss narrow gauge specialists. Here's a beautiful little BMO layout. How do you not love that? It's fantastic. All the catenary. It's all automated. High quality, nicely detailed. Gotta love it. BMO has such a nice assortment of models. If you look over here, all their steam engines. Oh my God, they got all the German narrow gauge locomotives and HOE. All their steam engines. I love the Swiss stuff. Just beautiful. Fantastic. I love it. SAI Collections. They're a French company, and what they specialize in, they make a lot of unique vehicles, mostly French vehicles, but they make a lot of early 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s vehicles. I'm going to show you some of these beautiful trucks they have here. They're great. They're rather expensive, but the production is very small and the detail is very nice. And their assortment has just grown and grown and grown. vehicles, cars, I mean, you name it, they make it. We are standing here at CarParts. CarParts is a company out of the Netherlands, and they have an absolute new innovations for a car system, for the Feller car system and also the CarMotion car system. They have a couple of innovations that are absolutely quite unique, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit about this car system. From what I understand, this car system is not controlled by satellites like the Feller car system. It is controlled by software. The software program is called iTrain, and iTrain controls all the vehicles on your layout. Okay, and there are some major differences. You have you have distance control, so nothing runs into each other. Another huge advantage is they no longer use a steel wire in the track. They use a magnetic wire. I'm going to show you what this magnetic wire looks like. Okay, this is a magnetic wire. It's a magnetic roll. And this magnetic wire is very flexible. You know, you could place this wire in different surfaces on your layout. So for instance, you know, if you want to make a scene where a tractor goes over a field, well, you can't do that with a steel wire that, you know, Viessmann or Feller uses. But with this magnetic wire, it's a little bit wider. You know, a tractor could hobble along a field. It has the motion of a tractor going over grass and bumps and dirt in the field, so the tractor looks very realistic as it goes over this magnetic wire. It stays on the wire a lot better. It's just a lot more efficient than, you know, a steel wire, which, you know, everyone has been using for decades. There's a sample over here of the magnetic wire in the roadbed. You can see it. See it right here, you know. And you know, another advantage of that magnetic wire is you can create much tighter radiuses, much shorter radiuses than with a steel wire. You know, absolutely fantastic system. We are going to talk to the owner, Heinz. Hello, Heinz.
Hello.
Say hello to Chicago. Heinz is the developer and inventor of CarParts, and he is the creator of some of these great innovations, and we will definitely be talking to him more about this great product and possibly importing it for Reynaulds. Here's a massive LGB layout, massive bridge. I mean, if you're a kid, you're gonna go nuts in this place. Done so well. So we have some more RC, heavy equipment, dozers, dump trucks. Everything is functional. Here we got an operation where the backhoe is picking up dirt, filling up the dump truck, having that thing drive around. I mean, how cool is that? Look at this. Everything is remote control. That is so cool. Here we have a piston bully display with the snow RC piston bullies. We have a 1/32 scale Regendorfer ski lift, which is awesome. Look at how high it goes, all the way up there to the base station, to the mountain station. Moving the snow. How awesome is that? They use those all over Europe on the ski slopes. We're in the RC truck and live steam building. It's absolutely crazy the amount of people. This show is so big. There's so much to offer. You could spend literally all weekend here. It's insane. Ah! I mean, it's just amazing. This is a beautiful steam engine. Man, look at the size of that. 45 class live steam. It is gigantic. Look at this. A fully functional steam rotary snowplow. Oh my God. I am here at the Tillig Booth. We are in front of the Tillig Booth. And as you know, Tillig makes most likely some of the best track systems, HO track systems in the world. They also make narrow gauge track systems, HOE and HOM. And what I love about their Tillig track systems is basically, you know, they have a dual track system. So you can incorporate the HO standard gauge with the narrow gauge. They have turnouts that have both standard gauge turnout with narrow gauge combinations and bifurcations and all this stuff. And just recently, Tillig has brought out a wonderful new steam engine. And we did a video on this beautiful little Elna steam engine last year. And you could take a look right here. The Elna is running. And we also have this great little Tillig rail car in HO scale. Actually, that one is running on narrow gauge. Also, we love the Elna. The Elna runs just incredible. And there's many variations of the steam locomotive. There's a German version in Era 2, Era 3. There's a French version in green. There's a Polish version. Just a fantastic HO locomotive. And as you can see, the Tillig track system, you can see here how the HO track is combined with the narrow gauge track. You can see here is an HO turnout that's dual gauge, and the dual gauge rail car that's a narrow gauge rail car is running on the narrow gauge track, but it runs through the standard gauge HO, just like in Saxonia in Germany. Now, narrow gauge locomotive is running on a narrow gauge line. Here it's running on a narrow gauge line again. And the turnout switched. And now the turnout switched to the standard gauge, and the narrow gauge locomotive will run on the dual gauge, standard gauge HO track. How cool is that? Tillig makes a dual gauge system where you can incorporate the HO standard gauge and 9mm HOE or 11mm HOM together. Fantastic. And this is our new export manager, Frau Brum. Say hello. She will take care of all our Tillig needs. It's awesome. And there's some versions of the HO steam engine that I was telling you about in the French green and the Polish PKP. In the DRG, I'm going to head over there and film that. And as you know, Tillig makes a great line of HOE steam engines. Here we have a beautiful DR narrow gauge steam locomotive. And these models we have in stock. You know, of course, the very famous, 210-2 99 class. They offer several versions of that. They have many different narrow gauge cars for the Brocken, for most of the narrow gauge lines that run in Saxonia. They have freight cars. And not sure if you remember, but years ago, Tillig acquired Berliner TT Bahn. So Tillig's main business is TT gauge. But they also make HO because they also acquired Sachsenmodell years ago. And so they specialize, their main specialty is TT gauge. But because they bought Sachsenmodell, now they make HO. And they make all the narrow gauge HOE, which is 9mm, and HOM, which is 11mm. It looks like they're branching out into some structures, which is very, very cool. That's a great structure. If you don't recognize it, that's the tower on top of the Brocken. So if you take the Brocken railroad all the way to the top, you'll see that tower. And here we have some Saxonian structures. Beautiful, beautiful kits that they're making here. Laser cut. Very, very cool. Here's the HO section. They have some great new freight car loads, and they make a vast variety of beer cars, tank cars, flat cars. Absolutely fantastic. Here we have the beautiful Alna HO in the French green, and these are already in stock. We have these, and also Reynaulds offers these locomotives in digital with sound, which is actually not offered by Tillig, but we actually convert them. So we have all these variations in stock with sound. Fantastic. I'm gonna walk over here, the TT section. Here we have all kinds of TT models. And TTs get more and more popular. Many manufacturers are starting to produce more in TT, like Pico, and Tillig, of course, and Roco. And here's a brand new TT locomotive that Tillig just announced this year. That is a famous German electric, the E77. That is a brand new model, highlight for 2023. And of course, they're going to bring out for 2023 new passenger cars. It looks like here we got some beautiful Era 2 passenger cars, some new steam engines. It looks like they are reissuing or actually coming out with new versions of the BR78, which is awesome. TT gauge is really great. I mean, the scale is fantastic. It's between HO and N scale, and It's bigger than N scale, so you can see it better. And here's just a great little TT layout that Tillig is showing off here in the booth. Fantastic. It's a nicely detailed layout. Look what you could do with TT in a small amount of space. It's unbelievable. It's fantastic. I like it better than N scale. It's bigger, you can see more of the detail. This layout is very nicely done. Got a nice little rune at the top. It's fantastic. I'm gonna press the button here, make it go. Oh, there we go. We got a nice little TT rail car. The German E94 electric, some passenger cars. It's fantastic. The Dortmund show is really incredible. There's so much to see. There's so much to do. We're replacing this show with the Nuremberg International Toy Fair because what we like about the Dortmund show, it's more hobby related. It's a much bigger model railroad presence than Nuremberg because so many smaller manufacturers could come here. And best of all, there's an entire building of dealers just selling. You know, with Nuremberg, you could never sell at that show. So that's what makes the Dortmund show so attractive. Here's another new innovation for Tillig. This is the TT gauge track with roadbed, which is a fantastic roadbed system. But yeah, we love Tillig. We've been doing business with Tillig for, oh my God, nearly 30 years. And it's one of our favorite companies. We are here at the Dekas Booth, and I'm speaking with Kasper from a company called Dekas, and he specializes in Danish and Swedish locomotives. He has an incredible no-hab that he recently released with a die-cast body and a lot of electronics, some beautiful Danish cars, and I will now ask you, my friend, can you explain to me a little bit about what Dekas is all about?
Dekas is all about that I founded the company back in 2011 and really wants to do a high-level products for the Scandinavian market, which there was a big gap for. So I developed a technology where we produce mainly all coaches with die-cast chassis, and a lot of separate parts. So we put in a high level. The locomotive is with power caps, with interior light functions, and we really try to push the limit. Some of the passenger coaches I released is the Wapper gates that is fully functioning, which is a new invention. So we're trying to be an innovative company, and to do that I joined together with a Chinese manufacturer, and we set up our own production facilities with a design office in Denmark, and also supplying for other customers around Europe. So I'm not only just a manufacturer of my own brand, but also helping other companies to be able to increase the level of models to a higher level.
And Dekas is out of Denmark?
It's out of Denmark.
Where in Denmark?
We're located in Korsør, which is one side of the island, Zealand, where the capital is also. It's run by me, founded fully by me, designed by me, but I have a few people working for me and a shared office with another company. So we're like very loose going, Danish, innovative.
Innovative. That's great. So I will ask you now to highlight your no-hab. Let's take a look at your beautiful no-hab.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at the running performance of the beautiful no-hab. Get down here. There's a beautiful example of a highly detailed no-hab.
So one of the, of course, we have spring function buffers on all our models. They are with edging grills, both on roof and sides. These small lifting rings are edging. For the running performance, we are having a die-cast gearbox, which have gears on all 6 wheels. All of the locos are with wheels that is roller barred in brass. so it's much more smoothly running. There's a center placed motor with flywheels and staying alive capacitors from ESO inside. We have
using
of course,
ESU 5.0 sound decoders?
Yes, exactly. And in all logos are suited with interior light in cabins, engine room lights, speakers, 2 speakers mainly for, and the sound has been recorded from the real logo, so it's meaning it's not just a fake one, but it's actually coming from the real logo.
Fantastic. And correct me if I'm not wrong, the NoHab locomotives, were they originally EMD?
Yeah,
They were originally
the engines inside, but the rest of it has been built in Sweden, in Trollhättan. Some of the know-hows actually got bodies built in Denmark and shipped to Sweden for assembly on the chassis, but that's another story.
Yeah, that's another story. So here is a beautiful one coming around. What paint livery is this?
This is from Torkraft, which is a private freight operator from Sweden who's mainly running goods from mid-Sweden down to the harbors. I released different color schemes because the locos were originally built for DSB in Denmark, but after being in service for many years, they were sold and purchased to private railways, first in Denmark and then later on in Sweden. And in Sweden they added like the mirrors on the side, the horn, the lamps, the antennas, and shunting platforms, and all these variation we did into the model. So every model is actually not just a color scheme version, but it's also tooling version. That is fitting exactly.
Beautiful locomotive. And this locomotive over here is also a Danish locomotive,
It's also,
right?
it's the following up for it. It's a TMZ, which is still built with an EMD engine inside. It came over, delivered to DSB in Denmark, built with Trollhättan in Sweden, also did the chassis work for it.
Is the chassis die-cast too?
Yeah, the chassis is die-cast, the body is die-cast. Only this area is simply plastic because that's where we have the inlet for the die-cast molding.
Like everyone else.
Exactly.
Like everyone else. That's a beautiful
It's running with the same thing with spring function buffers. You can see all the etched handrails and every detail is fitted so it's correctly to
The website is Dekas?
Yeah, www.dekas.dk.
Okay.
And it's in English also. So
wonderful.
it's both in Danish and English, so you will be able to read also a short history about each model that we actually released.
So that's fantastic. We are going to consider, importing Dekas to add to our product assortment, and we will have more information about this company in the near future. We are standing in front of the Exacttrain booth here with owner and founder Hans, and he is going to explain to us a little bit about his cars and what makes his cars more unique and better than some of the competition on the market. There's a large assortment to cover, and Hans, we're going to let you explain a little bit about what is so great about Exacttrain models.
Okay, thank you. We have here, for example, a German car. This is our last car, last freight car, which is coming on the market.
It's a beautiful car.
What have the GS212 as advertence? For example, the etching parts of the grid. They's open.
It's fantastic. And those crates are all etched.
Yeah,
Wow.
etched and very fine.
Very fine. Absolutely a beautiful car.
Yeah.
And you have to show the underside.
The underside is also a lot of parts and very fine details.
I can attest, I've seen a lot of brass cars in my life, and this is very, very similar to brass quality. In many cases, even better than brass quality, because look at all the lines. You got the brake lines. I mean, the undercarriage detail is most likely the best I've seen on the market.
Yeah. We use always the best materials. For example, if we use Zamac, is the fines, then we use fine Zamac. If it's plastic fine, the meest details, then we use plastic.
It's phenomenal.
So we make the decision dependent of the of the quality of model.
Oh, it's fantastic. And also what I've learned from Hans here is, not only do all the cars have the NEM closed sockets, but the cars also have sprung-loaded puffers, which I think the last manufacturer, to be quite honest, I don't think anyone has made sprung-loaded puffers in cars.
I don't remember.
Liliput made it in locomotives years ago, but
Yeah.
in cars, I can't remember anybody.
Yeah.
And
we used and also in some etching parts in the diecast underside. And this gives a good white, and the center point is very low, and that gives good drive properties.
Phenomenal.
And,
Really
and rolling properties.
phenomenal. And if you look at the assortment of cars that Hans has produced, I mean, he has, Era 2 cars, Era 3, Era 4. He's got German cars, Czech cars, Polish cars, Bulgarian cars, Dutch cars. I mean, the assortment over the last...
Switzerland cars.
Swiss cars.
Czech cars. Polish cars. A lot.
The assortment over the last 5 years has really grown. And for the last several years, we were thinking about the importance of importing Exacttrain and adding it to the Reynaulds assortment. And after looking at some of these cars and having the opportunity to look at the overall detail, I think it's a very important brand to add to our assortment. Hans, that is a beautiful Villach car right there.
Yeah, it's the Villach.
The Villach.
Yeah, with a very dun white of the wand, the wall.
Wow.
If you look from the upper side, it is under 1 millimeter,
Unreal.
and that is nobody made it so thin.
It's incredible. And also, I think for military modelers, the Villach car is very important because you could fit many Wehrmacht military items in there. You could put a Führling flak in there, or you could put a single barrel flak in there, and you could build up the housing for the soldiers. So it's just a perfect car to use in a German Panzer train. It's fantastic. And these are some beautiful longer box cars down here.
And our cars with open doors, for example.
All box cars have open doors?
No, not all, but the last 3-4 years we make all with open doors.
Fantastic.
And that gives also a lot of more possibilities to play with the trains.
Fantastic. Really fantastic. Looking over here, this will just give you an idea. They have a large assortment of
we have
tank cars.
Tank car, and you see we have here metal railing.
Yes.
And it's an etching part, but it gives more stability.
Sure.
And don't break.
Sure. I mean, a lot of tank cars use plastic, and you can't do that with plastic. If you wiggle that in plastic, you'll break it right in half.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Fantastic.
And then the open grid.
It's all edged.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
And then the diecast underside with the brake.
Incredible detail
Yeah.
on the underside. Is this German Era 3, Era 4 car carrier. God, look at this car. That is a beautiful car. Look at the detail.
And the construction.
And the construction.
With the short circuit.
Great tracking.
Yeah.
It's got a great weight to it.
Yeah. For example, if you put your car on the side.
Yeah. It's got so much weight that the weight will just prop it over upright again, which is phenomenal.
Yeah. And it has got a very low centering point.
Absolutely incredible. So a car like this, Hans, is currently in production several years now, and there's going to be a new run coming very shortly, right?
Yeah. We're coming now with a new run, and some differences. The auto rijshooter come also, and then we make a new run, the 5th run, and the 4th run is nearly sold out.
Wow, fantastic. One other car that I think it's important to mention is a Swiss car for our Swiss collectors.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They have the wooden distance from this car
Beautiful.
is for example 0.05.
Crazy. Very thin, very filigree.
Yeah.
With the typical Swiss silver door, the same beautiful undercarriage as the other cars, sprung-loaded puffers. Just very high workmanship.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And for the future, we go to new standard of personal cars.
Interesting.
You look, this car have a very beautiful view,
Beautiful.
and also Dekas underside, dus the width is very high.
Yeah, the die-cast underframe, especially for tracking longer passenger cars, is extremely important because we all know very light cars easily derail.
Yeah. For example, this is an etching part, and you see in the inside the box from the refrigeration. That's white.
Incredible. Really, the attention to detail is quite remarkable. And this is a combination Dutch-Belgium car?
Yeah, Dutch Belgium car, yeah. And will also make in the future like this quality for German, Polish, all the other countries what you named in this video.
Can I take a look at the underside? Again, look at all the detail underneath. Incredible. NEM short coupler pockets.
Yeah. And the current connection is also going from here to here.
Okay.
And if you make the lighting light, strips, you do only use a simple screw, and you have the lighting.
For installation of interior lighting.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And in the future we make also with for example figures in
Oh, that's
light
fantastic.
and figures.
So the future is bright for the Exacttrain company, and
we will
there's
introduce in May.
and these cars will be coming out in May of this year.
They are available, but with figures
Okay.
and light we will introduce in May.
Fantastic. Well, we've learned a lot about Exacttrain, and we will definitely add this assortment to the Reynaulds assortment, and hopefully in the next few months we can get our first shipment. So if anyone is interested, we will start to post these items on our website, and we're very excited about starting our business venture with Exacttrain. Thank you very much, Hans, for the interview. Oh, wait a minute. We got something else here?
It's simple to do
so you
this.
can
Open. A simple thing. Not
Oh
heavy.
my God, we know how hard it is to take some passenger cars apart, like LS models. It's very difficult, and wow, you could just pull it apart.
And you see here also the strips.
Oh, that's
here you can put
fantastic.
the strip, and here also.
Fantastic.
And
Very nicely done.
and for AC and DC.
Very, very nicely done. Wow.
And then you
Oh,
see
yeah?
that.
Very easy installation of the lighting strip. Wow.
Okay.
2 screws, and it's done.
Yeah.
Hans, thank you very much for the
Thank
interview.
you. Yeah, thank
I
you.
appreciate your time and explaining your wonderful products, and we'll be talking to you very shortly.